Hi, good evening. Um, I am going to present to you how to use Richard Gentry's spelling technique of um, using the flip folder to spell new and unknown words. This technique is used in my classroom and some of the teachers' classrooms that I work with every day. Some teachers use it as a homework tool. Other teachers use it as a pre-test tool for the beginning of the week to help differentiate their spelling. I'm going to show you a little twist that I like to add onto the method that the kids in my small group instruction really seem to like. So the first things first is you would want to get yourself together some basic manila file folders. And online you can get various different types of these blank sheets. I always just Google look, say, cover, write, check. There's some that have just very plain lines like this. Others have better handwriting lines. So it all depends on your grade level and what you think would be best for your students. So it's simply to assemble these. You just have to cut 3 slots and stick the papers in like this. I usually use fasteners because each week with new words, I like to add them. And then if I notice that students are continually to spell words wrong in their writing, we can always go back to previous weeks where we worked on those words and addressed the issues. This is a systematic technique for learning correct spelling words, and it's a great because you're including the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile approach to learning. So with this one simple activity, you're really hitting a variety of learning styles, which is beneficial for many students. I was actually at a workshop given by Richard Gentry on Thursday, and he did this with us because he was talking to us about spelling and trying to sell his new spelling program. But he actually gave us a couple of words, and we wrote them down, and we used this method, and then we did the circle dot method to check our spelling. And it was funny because even as adults, we were all like, oh, we spelled that word wrong. Or, when he would say the next letter, we're like, oh, how did I forget that letter? So even with older students, I think that you can adapt this to work for you. So first things first, for the little kids, pre-write their words. So next week I'm teaching short A. So in the first column, I put some basic short A words, and of course the lighting at this table is awful, so maybe that will help. So I have ant, tag, lap, and pants. So first things first is the students will flip open the first cover. They'll look at the word, which is ant. They'll say the word out loud, ant. Then they'll spell the word A-N-T. And then they'll close the flap, open the middle flap, and try and spell it on their own. The next step is you open the first 2 flaps and you can check the spelling. Did you spell it correctly? Did you spell it incorrectly? And either way, I always have the student rewrite the word in the 3rd flap. Now, this is where I like to add in that extra step, is when they are checking the spelling of their words, I like them to use the circle dot method. And for those of you who are not familiar with the circle dot method, they would just say, okay, A, oh, I have an A, and they would put a dot at the top. N, I have an N, and they would dot the N in the first column and the N in the second column. Let's say they have the wrong next letter or they stuck an extra letter in there, then they would put a circle there. And they would know that, you know, that was incorrect, and they would continue. So the dots represent the correct spelling, the correct letter choice, and the circles would represent an extra letter or maybe one that's missing. And then they would do the rewrite, okay, in the last column. Again, you can make this fun. You can make it as a game. I usually project it up on the smart board. The kids take these home. Also, a lot of teachers, like I had said earlier in the video, use this to pre-test, okay? So there's a whole slew of words for the week's spelling list. And why should you reteach students how to spell words that they already know? So this is a great way to do a pre-test and to go through the folders at the end of the day to see what words kids know, what words they don't know, and help with differentiating their spelling lists. There's no point in giving them homework, center work throughout the week with words that they already know how to spell and are spelling correctly in their writing. So I hope that this technique was helpful for you, this strategy. Again, I really do feel like it's a fun strategy to do across all grade levels. I mean, I could even see it being done in high school, and the kids, the young adults, excuse me, would get a kick out of it. So if you have any questions, you can post and let me know, or if you want copies of anything, just let me know and I can email it to you. And it's a great way overall for the students to get the image of the way the word is spelled imprinted in their brain. So thank you, and I will see you guys in a week.